Traders from around the world, what's going on? It's your boy Ricky Cadan, and back again with another real life stock review for Real Life Trading Australia. It's Friday, you know what time it is. Let's get into it. Let's dive in and take a look at what happened in the markets. Hope you guys had a fantastic week. It has been fairly slow, fairly choppy. I will take you through a couple of our trades that we are currently in. But first of all, the SPY. Guys, we are at the 100 simple moving average right now. We have been speaking about this for the last probably month or so, that we would, kind of pause at this particular level. The volume is actually decreasing. So the selling pressure is not actually coming in here. So just keep that in mind. The bulls can very easily take over. Although a lot of people do not want to be very bullish right at the top here, on the SPY. The E-minis is starting to reject the long-term moving averages as well, which we have spoken about. So all in all, guys, plan is just going nice and smoothly. Facebook, ticker symbol FB, is creating new all-time highs. Absolutely incredible. Feels like just yesterday we were down here in March, down at 140, and we just skyrocketed. Right now, current close at 231. Was a beautiful retest gap. We have had retest after retest, and right now we are filling that gap. I do expect us to eventually come down and fill this particular gap. Probably come down and close the 10 EMA or the 20 EMA. Makes a lot of sense. It is a previous resistance level, guys. As you can see right here, previous resistance level. So I do expect us to come down and retest that level as a support level. Next one on the list is AAPL, good old friend Apple. So Apple right now is most likely going to pause here as well. Last 3 days, guys, dead volume. Very, very, very choppy. Very, very sideways. I do expect us to probably come back down to about the 100 simple moving average before we do look to bounce. And here's AMD, causing a beautiful triple top-ish pattern, slowly declining volume. Once again, guys, we are in a bullish trend. Totally get that. This is the all-time high, so it is quite a big thing if we do start to create some new all-time highs, especially on a lot of these companies and especially on what is going on all around the world right now. But AMD, most likely, this is a nice evening star reversal pattern. I do expect us probably to come down to about $51 and some change, but looks good, guys, for a small short-term pullback. Make sure if you are in shares, look to sell some options, sell some premium up here. Makes tons of sense. Next one to look at is the All Ords. Now the All Ords was starting to look a little bit bullish. We did break out of this beautiful little ascending triangle pattern, but right now not holding up the strength that it had. We are currently reversing as we speak, and right now we could potentially just roll back down. This is the next support level, guys. If we come back down, to 5,300 and some change, makes a lot of sense for us to just, find a little bit of support there and then slowly start to bounce. Next stock on the list is BHP. Now, BHP just chilling above the 200 simple moving average. Guys, I'm not overly bullish right now, especially on BHP. We've had a huge push since the lows of COVID, up 40%. Absolutely insane run. Even back here when we had this big push from 2018 back up to these highs, we just consolidated sideways for pretty much a whole year. So if you are in BHP shares, I would be looking to get into some sort of a collar position. I would look to either sell an out of the money call, buy some lower puts to protect yourself on the downside, just in case the market just does topple over. Look to kind of protect yourself and receive some income. We have had a crossover with the longer term moving averages, so it doesn't look entirely bullish right now, and we have had retest gap after retest gap, and a lot of patterns here, like for example this one right here, which is an abandoned baby, very bearish pattern. We did kind of shoot down, have a nice gap and go, which was a sensational gap and go. So there's just a lot of bearish patterns right now, guys, and a lot of bearish sentiment. So just keep your eyes peeled on BHP for a short-term pullback. Just makes the most sense. Here's Zipco. Now Zipco just banging its head against the 200 simple moving average and just slowly just retesting. So right now, guys, it is going fairly sideways. We've had a fairly decent push the last few months, but we have pretty much pulled back to the mean, right? So this is pretty much it's like a mean reversion, I guess you could call it. We have come back to the mean price in the last couple of years, and right now we are just chilling. So where do we go from here? Well, right now does not look super bullish. We keep struggling to get above the 200 simple moving average. I would not be bullish until we get some, increasing volume and nice closes and continuations above the 200 simple moving average. So keep that in mind. Next stock is WOW, Woolworths. Now, we have been talking about this for quite some time, guys. I know that I have been saying to you, this is not a bullish pattern. It is definitely still not a bullish pattern. Right now, we are currently breaking down. If you are looking to play Woolworths, guys, either look to sell puts or something like that. Don't do a directional trade on Woolies. It's very, very sideways, extremely choppy in the markets right now, especially on a few of the bank stocks and a couple of your blue chip shares. So right now, just look to buy as low as you possibly can. If the market is non-directional, do a non-directional trade. That's my probably best piece of advice I can give you. Next one on the list is crude oil. So crude oil has just been slowly trickling higher after its massive fall below zero. Pretty amazing stuff. We're finally recovering. But crude oil is slowly trickling higher. We are coming up to the 100 simple moving average. I do expect us to reject, probably come down a little bit. On the shorter term moving averages, we are above all of them. So a nice little dip into the 50-day EMA just makes a lot of sense. Look for a nice little hammer candle. We are forming one right now. I just do think that we could have a little bit more of a pullback on crude oil. Here's gold. Now gold just following Mr. Squiggles like an absolute champion. We have drawn this in the afternoon swing trading floor, so I do expect us to bounce. We are currently in some gold options right now, GLD options. These are the current positions we have open right now: BJRI, Uber, Grubhub, Gold, EB, and GoGo. So these GLD, we did get triggered into some call options on GLD. So GLD, which will coincide with obviously the gold futures, looks like we are dipping, and if the market does start to topple over, guys, then I do expect GC to start to launch City. Last but not least, guys, the Aussie dollar. Nice trend. It's a very nice trend. I do expect us to kind of chill here for a bit. It's going to be a very choppy trend. I do expect us to just buy low and sell high at this particular range until we find some sort of direction. Just know that on the long-term moving averages, guys, we have the 200 simple right there in front of us. So probably don't expect it to go too much higher now, considering it has been a long time since we broke that particular level. So keep that in mind, guys. Aussie dollar is most likely going to trade sideways. Alright, team, that's enough from me. I'll be back next week with another free real life stock review just for you. And if you guys want any tickers, any stocks, any futures, any pairs, whatever you name it, you want me to do some technical analysis on that for you, just leave it in the comment section below, or hit me up on Facebook. I'll leave the link in the description below for you guys. Make sure you join. It's a great community to be a part of. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. Have a great weekend. Bye.